times in my life. Have you ever done something you regretted? I did something when I was 19 years old that I still feel horrible about. In fact, I shouldn't probably be telling you this. Okay, I'll admit. I once peeled off a small piece of a contemporary painting worth $500,000 that was in a museum, all because I thought the artist had used too much paint. I can't believe I did that, especially since I'm an artist too. Did you know that writing is a form of art? It is. I just choose to paint with my words instead of a paintbrush.
That's awesome.
I was born into a typical middle-class family in Stavanger, Norway on February 10th, 1979. I enjoyed school most of the time. My favorite subject in school was language arts, but I found PE to be completely useless. High school is when I first started to find my voice as a writer. I began with writing poetry. As a child, I developed a fascination with the Faroe Islands. I had a friend that spent his summer vacations there. He would tell me all about how he spent his days and about the cool and rainy climate. It seems so mysterious and so much better than the hot days of Stavanger. I was so intrigued by the islands that as an adult I decided to set part of my first novel there. Even though I started writing in high school, I knew I wanted to be a writer. I still had to find summer jobs. One summer I worked on a garbage truck and I spent 5 summers working as a grave digger. But it wouldn't be long before I published my first book. When I was only 22 years old, my first book was published. From here on in, You Just Get Older is a book of short prose. The stories are all centered around people waiting to be saved from their own lives. My second book, Ambulance, is a collection of short stories published in 2002. All the stories are centered around a common theme, just like my first book. The theme for Ambulance is human connection, grief, loss, mourning, with the message of just hold on, keep going. The other common thread throughout the book is the ambulance, of course. Whether the story centers around a paramedic thinking about a call he went on, or someone who has been in an accident, all stories have an ambulance involved. Next slide. In 2005, I published my first novel, Buzz Aldrin, What Happened to You and All the Confusion, the story of Mattias, a gardener in Stavanger, Norway. His idol is Buzz Aldrin, the second man on the moon. He admires Aldrin's willingness to be second best, to not need to be in the limelight, to be happy. That's the way Mattias wants to live his life too. He doesn't want or need to be the best at anything. He just wants to live a normal life. This book is mainly set in 2 locations, Stavanger, Norway, the Faroe Islands, which both places that have connection to my life. I connect with Mattias too. I always like the idea that not everyone is the best, and that's Mattias, an everyday guy. Next slide. Although Mattias probably wouldn't like it, he's famous. Well, at least in Norway. My first novel was made into a miniseries and aired on Monday nights. I had a cast of famous Norwegian actors and stayed pretty true to the novel, but with just enough changes to keep things interesting. Next slide. Since I like to keep things interesting too, I've published several different kinds of writings. In 2007, I published my second novel, Hasselby, in 2 plays, Washington and Degrees of White. I also wrote the first of a 2-part play called Memoirs of a Birdman. In 2008, I put out my first science fiction novel. It was also my first young adult work as well. I titled it Darla, which is an anagram of my friend Harold's name. He hates suspenseful books and he's scared easily, so I thought it would be funny to name one after him. It would later be retitled 172 Hours on the Moon. The story follows 3 teenagers who won a contest. The prize, a trip to the moon to stay at the secret lunar base Darla too. What the teens don't know is that the real purpose of their journey is to study the dark reasons NASA had stopped sending people to the moon in the 70s. The three of them end up in a fight for their life, not knowing just who to trust or if they'll ever make it back home. Next slide. While love, sadness, and suspense might be universal emotions, Norwegian is not a universal language. My stories have been translated into different languages, including English, Korean, French, Dutch, German, Faroese, Italian, Swedish, Finnish, and Russian. Next one. As a writer, I am always happy when people are reading my books and stories. But even if no one read them, I would still write every day. I'd still write stories and poems and plays. Because I'm a writer, it's what I do. Best advice I ever got from an author was write what you want to write, not what they tell you to write. And the best advice I can give to beginning writers is to read and write, and then read and write some more. Keep doing that over and over again. And be patient when you are trying to find your voice. Instead, let it find you. Thank you.
Excellent. Really great. Thank you.